Hello and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky and I'm here today with
Justin DeClue
and Colin Cunningham.
And we're a couple days late. We're like 4 or 5 days late, but it was Valentine's Day this week. So I decided to pick what I thought would have been a romantic comedy. And I ended up with a movie that
Boy, were you wrong.
is not very romantic and thinks it's a comedy, but it is not funny at all.
Well, you say you thought it was a romantic comedy, but you introduced this pick by going, this is the movie that made me realize films were bad.
Essentially, yeah. It was one of the
Which
first
usually you would associate with like a 7 to 10 year-old, but you were much older than that.
This was later. So we talked about this.
This was last year.
We talked about this on an old Q&A. Like, what was your first like bad movie that you? And I'm pretty sure I mentioned A Perfect Storm. Now that came, and why do I hate that movie so much? I don't know, but that came out when I was younger. This came out when I was in college. So, and before this, the other movie I hated was Moulin Rouge. Could not get through it. Mm-hmm. But this movie, it was similar to Moulin Rouge. A friend of mine said, it's amazing. You have to watch it. It's so good.
Oh, so somebody told you it was good.
Yeah, Elizabethtown, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I watched it and I was like, that sucked. I really, really disliked it. And then I haven't seen it since. And I just thought, is it really that bad? Yes, it is, folks. And you know what? I was a big Cameron Crowe fan. I loved Almost Famous and Vanilla Sky. You know, Vanilla Sky is kind of, I rewatched it recently. Like, it totally holds up. It's actually kind of probably like, you know, not one of my favorite movies, but it's kind of up there. Mm-hmm. And Cameron Crowe. Have you
seen the original version, Open Your Eyes?
No, but I would like to, actually. The Spanish version?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Cameron Crowe did this movie and his career never recovered.
Hey, We Bought a Zoo did okay when it came out as a movie after this.
That's the best you can hope for, doing okay.
I was thinking about his career, and I'm like, okay, I've never seen Elizabethtown until, the other day. Mm-hmm. But, I too was a big fan. I liked Jerry Maguire when it was out. I liked Almost Famous, probably better.
Almost Famous is, like, really good.
Yeah, more so. I think that kind of spoke to me more than Jerry Maguire, but I enjoyed them both. I couldn't wait to see what he did next. Vanilla Sky, did not care for.
I'm not going to force you to watch it, but I just wonder if maybe if you saw it again, maybe you might have different feelings about it. But like I said, I'm not going to make you watch it.
Yeah, and then
I will say that Colin will have the same opinion.
Yeah, and then I heard nothing but bad things about Elizabethtown. Everybody was like, "Oh, the new Cameron Crowe movie." Yeah. Didn't hear one good thing about it, so I never saw it. And then I've never seen one of his movies since. Like,
did you hear about it when it played at TIFF and it got such a bad reaction that he completely recut the movie before he released it theatrically?
No,
yes.
I didn't know that.
How bad could it have been that this is what we ended up with? Like,
so this was the better version.
That's insane.
Better version.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's so bizarre. So, and like, I guess We Bought a Zoo. That was like the last movie he did, right?
No, he made a little movie called Aloha, Colin.
No.
Aloha, which I believe were some crazy behind the scenes issues with that, with another, like, it had to be re-edited or something.
Well, some emails came out in the Sony leak where the producers like Amy Pascal were like, this is the last time we let a script be shot, even if it's somebody that we really love like Cameron Crowe, when it doesn't make any sense.
So they gave Cameron Crowe another chance because, as we all know, when you're white and male, you get a million chances.
Well, We Bought a Zoo did okay. So
that's true, and apparently he made a
enough.
couple. He made a couple music documentaries, I think.
He did, yeah. He made a Pearl Jam documentary.
Is there anything more like white and middle class than a Pearl Jam documentary?
No, like, well, I mean, I don't know. I can. I was like, what's a whiter middle class band? I don't know. It's Creed, maybe. And
with his eyes wide open.
Well, they got the religious twinge to them.
Don't they both sound the same, don't they? They have that
they're
voice.
Very similar. They came out around the same time. So
on our career.
Yeah, and Aloha also had the Emma Roberts playing in Japanese.
No, it was Emma Stone.
Hawaiian.
Emma Stone, right.
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone playing,
Asian
she was
woman.
half Asian or something like that, which, oh boy.
But I also heard that it was just a terrible movie. Like, it was difficult to watch because it was...
It's about the militarization of space. That's what it's about.
Of
really?
Space?
Yes. Is that Bill Murray wants to send a like rocket into space, and there's secret nukes on board. Also, Emma Stone, she just loves. Wait, who plays in it again? Bradley Cooper, who's tough and is also getting over failure, which is like the plot of every Cameron Crowe movie.
But yeah, I'm starting to see a theme. Every Cameron Crowe movie has the brooding male and the woman who is
the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah, well,
he just wants to change.
I was just thinking today,
Yeah.
I'm like, this movie pretty much has the same sort of journey as Jerry Maguire.
This Manic Pixie Dream Girl, I believe, was coined by Nathan Rabin to describe Kirsten Dunst in this movie.
Yes.
Although I will say that that trope is deconstructed in Vanilla Sky. Just putting that out there.
Interesting.
And then afterwards, he's like, and I'm going back to the old playbook for
putting it back
Aloha.
together.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson kind of plays that role in We Bought a Zoo.
Penny Lane,
Oh my
also in
God.
Almost Famous, is that character.
Yeah, she has
She
no like
has
outside
she does
life.
she does have her own life and her own wants because she wants this other character, the bandmate, but her and the groupie guy, what's his name? The main character,
Patrick Fugit?
Yeah, she's kind of like, I'm gonna teach you how to live life and like cut loose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So she's doing the same thing, but she has a little more backstory at least. But.
I mean, if Elizabethtown ended with Kirsten Dunst killing Orlando Bloom, you'd be like, well, yep, that checks out. That makes
It
sense.
would make perfect sense.
Yeah, because she is literally behaves like a serial killer in this movie. A
She's
horrible
a
stalker.
antisocial stalker.
If this was a man playing the role,
Yes.
you would be terrified.
Every scene we
It
were
would
like,
be season 4 of You.
all you gotta do is turn off the Cameron Crowe mixtape and put on some creepy John Carpenter music, and you got yourself a thriller. My friend.
Yeah, there's some like horror shots in this that if it wasn't for like Tom Petty playing over it, your blood would be curdling.
Well, let's start the movie where...
What is this? Hang on. What is this movie about for people who don't know?
What?
It's about Orlando Bloom is a successful shoe designer who
No,
designs.
he's not successful. He's been
so-
working on a shoe for 8 years.
Well, he's successful in the company
Christ.
up till the point that his shoe comes out, and it's a
8
huge bomb.
years working
8
on
years.
one thing.
And it loses the company $1 billion.
Okay. I don't get shoes.
I
I wear
Neither do I.
shoes, but I'm not someone who understands like
The
the
culture.
obsession. Yeah, and that's fine. You know, it's
I
just
think
not
I can
for me.
understand it. I'm not a part of it. I mean,
I just look at
there's-
them and I'm like, looks like a shoe to me.
There's lots of people who collect shoes.
Yeah.
And in Toronto, I'm sure that's like this in other big cities. They have these shoe release
They
things.
line
at
up
certain- yeah.
for days.
Maybe not
Hey, I've-
days,
I've
but like,
seen Entourage
like
enough
24
to know.
hours. Yeah, just to get these shoes. And then I was a friend of mine, her boyfriend did that, and apparently he would just resell them. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even for him. Like it was just to resell it on the market or whatever. So it's a thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Don't
the
you remember
shoes
that
better
whole-
give me some kind of ability, like a hyper jump, or I can teleport.
Don't you remember that whole episode of Entourage where Turtle is having a bad day and he wants to, he goes to.
I
So
have
you've
never
seen
watched
Entourage.
an
he
entire
lines
episode of
up.
Entourage.
He lines up. He wants to get these kicks, and he can't get the kicks in his size. And then episode ends with the guy giving him
free kicks.
giving him his own personalized pair of.
Okay,
of
well, that
kicks.
sounds like a very interesting episode.
It was a fun
Coming
episode.
soon to our Entourage podcast, where we go episode per episode.
Oh wait, maybe that was an episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and they took a break. They went
Yeah.
after the Mandalorian. was
Mandalorian
done.
came in and
Oh
needed to buy
yeah,
some new
man!
shoes.
Book of Boba Fett, very inspired from the laid back vibes of Entourage.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. It's like Book of Boba Fett. It's like, Christ, this character's boring. Okay, we've done 2 episodes of Mando. Can we put an episode of like Cheers in there or
No,
something?
Boba Fett lined up early so he could buy shoes for all the children of the village.
So the movie,
Air Jordans.
the movie Elizabethtown starts with Orlando Bloom going back to work. And like we've already said, he had been working on a shoe called Spasmodica.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny. Like it's supposed to be the worst shoe ever, and
it's so ugly.
they intentionally like made it look ugly and mission accomplished. But when I heard that it lost the company almost $1 billion, I was like, oh shit, like people died wearing this shoe.
How is this Orlando Bloom's fault?
I know. Like if he designed a shoe, even if it did somehow cause people like critical foot injuries, that would have been tested beforehand. It's his fault because he designed it and people thought it was ugly.
I guess I
That's
don't
They
know.
don't say that people are like exploding when they wear shoes.
No, but I was just
No.
thinking that's the only reason
That would be
why.
pretty cool.
Now that's a real fail. Like, I don't know. You're watching
They
like
want me for manslaughter.
if you were in charge of, say, some sort of big event and several people ended up dying, that might be something to be like, my life is over, I'm a laughingstock about this. Like, yeah, he lost him a bunch of money, but like, who cares?
Hey, Travis Scott.
The guy from Blink-182?
Oh wait, who am I thinking of?
Yeah, you big Blink 182 head, Colin.
Wait, who's the rapper?
Are you going to bring up the guy who a bunch of people died at his concert?
Yeah, who's the one that like Billie
don't know
Eilish
what
was
his name
making
is.
fun of?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't that Travis Scott?
Travis Scott is the drummer for Blink-182.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't
did the
know. I
soundtrack?
know who you're talking about.
Hey,
No,
did
there's a
the-
guy named Travis Scott. He's also an American rapper. You're right,
Yeah.
Colin.
Okay, I guess maybe I'm wrong.
I win. I know more
Blink
hip hop.
182. No, you're thinking of Travis Barker, April.
Oh no! And he wasn't the drummer, was he? I think he was the guitar player. Okay.
You're thinking of that taxi driver. No, that's Travis.
No, he was the
Bickle.
drummer, Travis Landon Barker, the drummer for Blink 182.
There you
Now
go.
people are yelling at their podcast. How do you not know the drummer for Blink 182?
I know, because
cares?
that's my era. Anyway, so he goes to work and everyone hates him.
Yeah.
And he has to talk to Alec Baldwin.
Well, they're just giving him like looks, like as he
Alec
walks in.
Baldwin is
I
like,
feel-
it's not like you killed anybody. I'm seeing in my
God.
own future.
I feel like this is like the exact same scene as Jerry Maguire when he
Exactly.
sends out that manifesto and he's walking through the office and everybody's just giving him looks,
yeah.
Now-
and they're not reacting.
Cameron
They're just
Crowe
sort of like not
said
saying
this
anything.
was based on his own life because a family member passed away. But I wonder
He didn't work at like a multi-billion-dollar shoe company.
I wonder if this is a reaction to I don't know how Vanilla Sky did, but maybe this is how he felt after Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, but also he does. Remember Almost Famous? I think he also like went on tour with a band and was
Yeah,
was
'cause he was a
rock and
writer
roll
for Rolling
writer.
Stone.
So basically, he's a hack who steals from his own life. I'm just joking.
Terrible.
I
He
love
is a
him.
hack. I love Cameron Crowe. That's why
I-
April got a Cameron Crowe tattoo on her shoulder.
No.
Maybe just a crow, but not a Cameron Crowe.
But we know what it really means.
Okay, so we need to get into one of the many reasons why this movie is terrible.
His narration.
Orlando Bloom's narration. Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's just full of it at the beginning
I wonder
and at the
if
end.
this is
but
something
in the
they
middle,
cut
too.
down. Because it's very
know.
snatch-like he's talking to the camera in this scene.
Yeah, so there's small moments of breaking the fourth wall,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought almost like they added it after, like it wasn't in the script.
I don't know.
I guess it's impossible to tell.
But I've never seen, outside of Lord of the Rings and the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, I don't think I've seen Orlando Bloom in anything.
Me neither, other than this.
He is fucking terrible in
I
this
know.
movie.
And then it took me half the movie to realize I think it's the accent. He can't
Yeah.
do an American accent.
He's narrating and he's really trying to get rid of those to force those R's, and it just sounds so terrible. And he just doesn't emote through the entire movie.
Yeah,
He's such
and
a
I think
flat
that
line
if
of
we
a lead
got
character.
that accent expert on there from those Wired videos, he would say you have to act through it.
Yeah.
He can't act through this
can't.
accent. He doesn't sound like a human being.
Guys, did you know that they were shooting this film Eric Stoltz style with a different actor before Orlando
Ashton
Bloom?
Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher, who I would have loved. And I also heard they wanted Sean William Scott for this.
Jesus.
dude, where's my car? Where's
Oh
my car,
God.
dude?
It's like a reunion. You see Ashton Kutcher leaving, and then Sean
Ashton
William Scott.
Kutcher has done many rom-coms, and he can pull it off. He could have
Can he?
totally done this.
I mean, he would have been better than Orlando Bloom in this.
Well, it's so weird
Yes.
because they got rid of Ashton Kutcher because he didn't have any chemistry with Kirsten Dunst. And I'm like, oh my God, so you thought Orlando Bloom did? He's terrible.
yeah, he's
No,
awful in this.
and they like I said,
Flatline.
it's not that he sounds like a robot. I don't know what the fuck he sounds like.
You know
he
what?
sounds like an alien.
He sounds like that Luke Skywalker, that synthesized
You think they had an
voice.
AI Orlando Bloom on set.
Yeah, it's like a
Kinda
synthesized
does.
voice.
It kind of does, dude.
So as far as the personality goes in this two-person dynamic, Kirsten Dunst is doing all the heavy lifting in this movie as far as
We haven't even gotten to her. We skipped
I
over
know.
the fact that Orlando Bloom tries to kill himself in a hilarious way.
Oh, this is so funny.
One of those examples of a moment in this movie that thinks it's funnier than it is. I get. What do you guys think? Knife bike, kind of funny?
No, it's
Not very. It's also like he's killing himself for this. Like, come on, man.
It's just one of those things. Like he basically he's got this exercise bike and he ties a knife to this part that kind of goes in and out, so it'll stab him. Whatever.
As he rides it, I guess.
And, like nothing up to this point has led you to believe this movie is like a comedy or any sort of thing. So it just, the tone of it is so weird.
Well, this movie is horribly depressing. It also starts off so low that it's not like, I think maybe they do flashes of him going, yeah, kind of like he's like Wolf of Wall Street guy. And then that like, or maybe it's just that he's just thinking that's a flashback while he's like
Orlando Bloom is such a bummer during the entire film. He's like, woe is me.
Yeah.
Life is hard.
It's not even like that he looks sad, upset, or depressed. He's just catatonic.
Yeah.
He's not emoting at all.
It's like he's been tranquilized or something like that, and he just can't.
He had a couple Quaaludes.
And then
every day.
you're like, what is Kirsten Dunst see in him? I don't understand.
I know, that's my question. I guess
perfect victim. That's what she sees in him.
I could steal his identity, but he has no money.
She's gonna become Orlando Bloom.
Well, I mean, he's cute. That's all he's got going for. And let me just say, when
he's
Lord
got
of the
a
Rings,
huge hog too. Have you seen those photos that came out?
yeah. When Lord of the Rings came out, I was obsessed with Orlando Bloom. I thought he was so hot. We all had a moment. He was our favorite character in that movie. And I did recently. I did look up those photos. You can see his dick, and I think he was naked on a beach.
I was like lying in bed next to him, like, April, put those away, please.
You were lying next to
Bloom?
Orlando Bloom, it sounded like.
Oh my God.
You're like, Orlando, get that thing out of my face.
So that
Roll
probably
over.
had a big impact on why I even watched this movie back when it first came out. But
Everybody had Orlando fever.
Orlando fever
or Bloom.
And I mean, he can play an elf. He can play Will Turner.
He was good.
He was in what, 10 Pirates movies?
In Lord of the Rings, yeah. Pirates, I didn't really like him so much, but
yeah,
whatever.
but he's fine. Like he's not like terrible.
I'm just trying to think of anything that he was in. I mean, he was completely overshadowed by Johnny Depp in that movie.
He was in
He
a Gap
wasn't really in any. He was in Kingdom of Heaven, the Ridley Scott movie.
Like over and over.
I mean, like a movie. Like,
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but he's got to be in something, right?
Oh, I don't know. Well, Justin, pull up the IMDb. Are you there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Wasn't he in some kind of like...
He was in
Black
Kingdom
Hawk
of Heaven,
Down?
the Ridley Scott movie.
Oh, that's right.
What's Kingdom of Heaven?
It's a good movie.
Yeah, actually, the director's cut
what's
is
it
really,
about?
really good.
What's it about?
I don't remember. It's, knights
It
and
takes
stuff like
place in like
that.
Jerusalem or something.
I think
Edward
he was-
Norton has leprosy.
Oh, it's a historical epic.
I think he was in Black Hawk Down.
Oh, yeah.
He was on. Yeah, he is one of the 100 actors in Black Hawk Down as well.
Yeah, that all look the same because they have the same haircut.
He was in a
An
TV
outfit.
show called Carnival Row that only lasted 10 episodes. It looks like.
Weird.
I don't even know that.
Maybe he's one of those guys. That's why he keeps going back to that pirate's well.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Arr,
the
there
thing
be
is,
booty.
He's a pretty face.
Yeah.
He's just not that good of an actor.
Oh, it's
and
not
you
gonna last very
can't-
long.
Like, you can't make a career if you're not a good actor,
They're gonna reboot Pirates of the Caribbean. He's gonna be playing the Barbossa character in 10 years.
Sure.
Yeah, bring him
Jeffrey
back.
Rush.
They're just
Bring
going
him
to keep
back.
making those movies.
I mean, I haven't
Hang on,
seen the
isn't he-
last three, I
I think he's a ghost in the last one.
No, isn't he trapped on an island or something like that
No,
he can't escape?
Yeah, but I thought that, I don't know. We watched it summer 2020, so it's all a blur.
See, he comes back to land once every
10
20 years or something like
to
that.
visit Keira Knightley and their son.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get back to the movie. So
Oh, boy.
he's gonna stab himself with his knife bike.
And you're laughing. You're like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And he gets a call from his sister, Judy Greer.
Judy Greer, who
Poor
is
Judy Greer.
Forever doomed to be the sister of the star in a movie.
I know, she is so overlooked in this movie.
She's so much better in this.
I know.
Or she's so much better than this, I should say.
Yeah.
and
Judy
she
Greer's
calls.
like, my cabin in the Hamptons says differently.
It's true. And then, so she says, our dad has died. Susan Sarandon is his mother. They found out that the dad was visiting the uncle in Kentucky. The dad had grown up in Kentucky and then met Susan Sarandon
And then they moved
to
Oregon,
the West.
so they're like West Coast people. Although it seems like is Orlando in Oregon or is he in like New York or something?
He's in Oregon, I think.
Oh, okay. I
think.
don't know. I just thought executive. You know what? It doesn't matter.
I think so. I don't know.
So he's like, I guess I won't kill myself. And then he looks out the window. I guess I better get all my stuff back. Oh no, it's being stolen.
Yeah, he dumped all of his furniture out and all of his accessories out in the
There's
sidewalk.
a lot of stuff that's supposed
And look,
to
there's
be
some
like,
people dancing in the street in front of his stuff.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be like dry, dark humor.
but it's just like
It's
the
not.
tone is all over the place.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It doesn't work. So I guess like the family in Kentucky didn't like Susan Sarandon, so she can't go back to Kentucky to get the dad's body. So he volunteers to go do it. He's
Yeah, and like
I'll kill myself still when I get back, but right now I'm gonna go pick up the corpse.
If I was Susan Sarandon, I would probably hate all them too because like,
I hate them.
Well, imagine like coming in as like a West Coast person and they're all like treating you like complete shit, which is basically what they're doing. Like when she's not even there, essentially.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, Paula Deen is making fun of you.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you're gonna spoil it. With their big teeth, her big white teeth.
Yeah, so Orlando Bloom, but he gets on a plane first, and that's where he meets the bubbly, loving personality of Kirsten Dunst.
Who spots him from across the plane like a predator spotting its prey.
Well, it is an empty plane.
Yeah.
Completely empty
And
except
I think
for him.
they show her like seeing him and being like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
and it
like
goes-
licking her
walking
lips. She's like,
over.
When it goes to like predator
Yeah.
vision, it's like
I
it's
should
like Terminator.
say, yeah, she actually like cackles like and smiles evilly throughout this movie. It's supposed to be charming, but it's creepy. It's creepy.
Don't like it.
yeah. So yeah, and then the targeting thing goes. So he's at the very very back of the plane. He wants to be alone. It's like a night flight. So she goes down and she's like, "Hey, you've been bumped up to first class. You've won a competition." And he's like, "Oh, I just want to stand back here." And she's like, "Look, I'm tired. I just don't want to keep walking to the back of the plane." And she doesn't leave him alone. She like sits down and just starts chatting to him. And you're just
Yeah.
like, okay, this person is unhinged.
And the thing is, like, I don't know what we're supposed to feel because Orlando Bloom is clearly annoyed. We're annoyed, but I think we're supposed to find her charming.
I think we're guessing that he's annoyed because he's not really
He
doing
can't-
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like flatlining. Beep.
And I don't even know. Honestly, I just like mine like glazed over whenever she talks. She like never shuts up.
Your dad's name is Mitch. Never met a Mitch I didn't like.
no.
It's like,
Yeah, one of those people, like-
whoa.
Okay, the dialogue in this movie is so pretentious. I wanted to punch myself in the face because
And she did. She's looking at us right now, just covered in bruises. and
horribly
everything.
deformed.
And she April goes into work with like black eyes and she's like, I was watching Elizabethtown.
I had to beat myself up. Yeah, it's terrible.
A conversation. See, it's kind of funny because they have a conversation about names, and she's like, "Well, you don't want to meet an Ellen. I've never been an Ellen, but Mitches are always this, and Jays are always that, and blah blah." And the funny thing is there's a very similar conversation in Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, also on an airplane between those two characters, and that was funny and it was charming. And they talk about how there's nobody famous named Shauna or something like that, and then they make up a whole story about this fictional person named Shauna, and then it kind of goes on, and like that was funny. I can't believe how similar that is. And they have weird accents and everything.
Well, is this a comedy? I don't know if it's supposed to be funny.
It's called a
just supposed to be-
dramedy, Colin. It's about
It's a
drama
tragedramedy.
and
Yeah,
comedy.
I looked it up in Wikipedia and it was called itself a tragicomedy.
Cameron Crowe's updating it right now. You guys saw
Bobby-
those emails, right? That he was sending to Sony, which he was like, "Please let me direct the Steve Jobs movie, please.
No.
I'd like
Oh,
to
no.
make it." And
Was
they
that
like
another
didn't
leak?
reply.
Oh no.
Was that in the Sony leak?
Yeah, it was.
There's a lot of good stuff in that Sony leak.
Yeah, I recall there was the Lone Ranger people talking about that movie,
There was like the
right?
Ghostbusters. There was Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. There was like Cleopatra, I think.
Men in Black meets the 21 Jump
Ghostbusters?
Street.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh, can you imagine?
Sure, that's fine. It's better than Men in Black International, a movie that doesn't exist. Like, do you
I
guys
will-
remember that movie?
I will not see that movie. I refuse.
I
Chris
remember seeing
Hemsworth. And
I remember seeing ads for it. It was the girl who played Valkyrie in the
remember
Thor
stories
movie.
that came out that like each actor had their own writer on set that was rewriting the
Yeah,
script.
that's right. That's right. Who directed that movie?
F. Gary Gray, the director of
Yeah.
Jesus
Fast and the Furious
Gray.
8. The worst of the late period Fast and the Furious movies. What was great that came out of Men in Black International was Ed Solomon, the writer of the first one, writing that he receives no money because according to the studio, the first one still has not gone into profit.
Oh God. That's why they keep making
That's
sequels.
why they keep making sequels. They're trying to get that
just
profit.
in the hope they can turn profit on the first movie.
So Orlando Bloom, he arrives, and Kirsten Dunst won't let him go. You know, she probably has the gun in her bag. She needs somewhere quiet to pull the trigger and take him out.
Yeah, and this was the creepiest thing. He's walking out of the airport, and she's looking at him from afar,
And she's yelling at him.
and she does like the kind of taking a picture with her hands.
Yeah, it's
Just so I'll remember
weird.
you forever.
Oh, and that is like 100% what a dude does in like a serial killer movie.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
supposed to be
yeah.
again. It's supposed to be cute, and it's just so creepy and annoying. And like nobody is this person. It's insulting to me because it's a creation of a woman written by a sad and lonely man who has a very specific idea about what the perfect woman is. It's very insulting.
If you search Elizabethtown trailer, the image on the trailer is her taking that photo, and it straight up looks like a 1 hour photo or something like that.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you in the chat. Like, look at that. That's crazy.
I'm looking. Hang on, I'm gonna look at it. Just pulling it up right now. Oh yeah, that's. She looks scary. She's not even like smiling. She's like scowling.
Kill you.
Oh my God.
Okay, so she gives him instructions because she knows everything about the South. This movie loves the American South.
Yeah.
This is celebration of the South.
She makes this big like I don't know. I'll tell you how to get to your.
Map.
Wait, I just realized there's like no minorities in this movie, are there? I think it's all white people.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the music is like American, like blues.
Blues, yeah.
So
but
there's
other than that,
but-
it's like, I mean, Paula Deen's like, you know,
Oh boy.
only white people on screen, I guess.
If she's there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one of those.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It takes place in the South. Do you think there would be more diversity? I don't know. Where does this take place?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Well, I don't know. I've never been there.
Not-
So she gives him these convoluted instructions, and he takes them and somehow winds up in Indiana.
Does he?
Yeah, because her instructions were bad.
But then he eventually shows up at the town where he's supposed to be, and everyone's waving. It's like Body Snatchers
Okay,
or something
yeah.
like that.
What
This-
was this scene?
This was like something you'd see in like The Mouth of Madness or something, where like
Children of the Corn.
yeah,
or
these
something.
kids are riding the bikes next to his car, and it's all kind of like creepy slow mo, isn't it, or something?
Yeah,
And
it's like music is playing. It's like,
Yeah.
And everywhere he goes in the town, everyone waves at him and points to the house that he's going to.
yeah, all in slow mo,
And the kid is like beckoning
if
him
you, if you
this
just
way.
swap out the Tom Petty for like John Carpenter, like
But like this looks like it was supposed to be in his head, and
I don't know. I think
jury's still out on that.
I think it's just because he's so famous or something like that.
No one knows who he is yet, or do they?
They do. They're all like,
He's
oh,
he's a famous shoe designer.
famous shoe
That's
designer.
right.
He's like the,
Nothing more famous than that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
But
like that shoe designer.
don't worry,
guy.
because if you don't like Orlando Bloom, he meets his cousin, Jesse, played by the charisma dynamo of the guy that was on the first 2 seasons of Parks and Recs that they then who then died on the way to his home planet.
Name? Something. I can't remember his character's name.
Jesse
is
is his character name.
Is this the cousin that used to be in a band in the
Yes.
movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in the first two
Paul
seasons.
Schneider, a guy whose name is, wait, I think I know who that is, but you're wrong.
Oh.
It's somebody else.
His name was like something Brandanowitz on
Yes,
on
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. They never brought him back once after the
No.
second season. He's
No.
just gone.
I think because they realized his character didn't fit like into the show anymore.
No, the actor is like, no way, man. I'm doing Cameron Crowe movies from now on.
Well,
I'm going to be
Parks and
starring
Recs
in the
is
first
way
season
later.
of Channel Zero.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in that terrible show. Okay, he's okay in this, right? He's all right.
Fine. Like
He's fine. Everybody's
He's
whatever.
the lesser of many evils in this movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
the best part is everyone's favorite. Well, if he's in this, he's got to be some kind of bad guy. Bruce McGill.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, he's
Which
either
one's
a,
Bruce McGill?
He's the guy that comes in and the whole family's like,
Oh,
"Oh
right.
no, you didn't invite him, did you?"
Right,
yeah,
that guy. Yeah.
He always shows up as a lawyer in
Yeah,
movies.
that's right. I'm just an old Southern lawyer.
Just a Southern lawyer.
So, like, the fact is, Orlando shows up and there's already a visitation happening. Like, it's
Well, it's like
happening
a huge party at
that
the
day.
house.
Not only that, before that, I believe there's a scene in the funeral home where he sees his father.
Oh,
And,
God. And he has that flashback.
It's not just the flashback. The corpse smiles at him.
Oh, God. That is so
And I
unsettling.
can't believe I'm saying this. It's supposed to be whimsical. And
I
I
would
felt like
bet you
throwing up.
money that what Cameron Crowe cut out was a lot of those whimsical touches. That kind of like breaking reality stuff.
That might have been better though, because when there's just a few,
You're not sure what the tone is.
Yeah.
It never quite lands.
and it
you're
just because it comes out of nowhere. You're like, huh? Wait, what?
Oh, that was terrifying. It was just like, oh.
I did like it when he walked in and he went, "My condolences," and they're like, "No, they tell that to you guys."
That's his idea. Is he doesn't know how to be human.
I was confused that how did the dad die? He had a heart attack. Was he at home visiting his family?
He was
Yeah.
visiting, he was visiting Kentucky and he had a heart attack.
I don't know what
there.
the
I think
situation
a
was.
murder took place instead.
They were
yeah.
like, "You're never leaving."
Yeah, they like shot him in the heart or something
No,
like that.
I'm going to point to one Miss Kirsten Dunst.
Oh yeah, you think she's the puppet master behind all
Yeah.
of it?
Yeah.
She planned it so.
You just see her. He goes to the window. She's like standing out in the lawn like Michael Myers.
The
Like,
thing is, though, she doesn't know.
And then you
who
look
he
back and
is.
she's gone.
He's not that. I think he's only famous to this family because he's like
Yeah.
the one who was rich and
He's the
successful.
big success,
It's
but-
not like he's Steve Jobs or anything.
no. But he's like the one that, which kind of makes it worse because he's got to come back after this massive failure, and everybody's treating him like he's like,
Yeah, but they don't know.
second coming.
They
Yeah.
don't know he failed yet.
which probably weighs down on him, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you would imagine that happens.
Yeah, because
but
everybody's like, hey.
there's nothing in his character that would say that.
No.
Everything about his character is very tell, don't show, and that's that voiceover.
Oh, it's rotten.
Because it just doesn't work.
And
It's really odd that this is a film that like the structure is such a mess. Like it doesn't build to anything. He doesn't really have an impact on anything going on either.
no.
The thing about the movie, what you don't even realize as it's happening is it's apparently building up to there's like 10 funerals in this movie, first of all.
Oh, they like to party.
The big funeral reception. But I think that the point is it's supposed to be kind of like a David Lynch where there's just wacky characters. This is
I don't
there's a
know if
world
anyone
filled
has
with
ever
wacky
compared
characters.
Elizabethtown to David
a
Lynch.
David Lynch.
Okay, well, what's another movie that's like that, or a show where it's just like Napoleon Dynamite, say, where
Okay.
it's just like, okay, it's just a world full of different characters. So like we have the weird like wedding reception people, we have the cousin and his son, and there's Paula Deen. There's kooky characters all over.
There's a little shitty kid who sucks.
who won't stop screaming.
Oh, with that shrill scream, and like
He
Sailor
likes to get into
freaked out.
cars, knock
Sailor.
hams off desks.
Yeah, see, that's supposed to be funny. He got into a car and drove away.
I gotta say, he grabs the ham off the table and throws it to the two dogs. That is the fakest looking ham. It is made out of.
It looks like a cartoon ham.
Yeah, it looks like
Bugs
paper.
Bunny would start
It looks like
munching down
paper
on it.
mache. Like somebody printed out like a ham and then glued it
They
to a.
had to do several takes. They couldn't do a real ham.
It looked so fake. Yeah, Paula Deen. April's like, oh, you could wait for it. There's going to be a celebrity cameo in this scene. So I'm
I
looking.
got you a cameo, Colin, from your favorite cook, Paula Deen.
I'm Paula Deen.
So I'm like, is that Bruce McGill? Is that the person you're talking
Yeah,
about?
April's a big Bruce McGill fan.
Loudon Wainwright the third.
Well, as far as I know, Paula Deen is not an actress, so she's just in this playing herself, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
She was big at the time, so.
Yeah, I mean, she's fine in this. I didn't like if I didn't know who she was, I wouldn't think, oh, that's not an actress or anything like that. But
Yeah.
she's in it quite a bit more than I thought.
Yeah.
And the big drama of this section is that the old Southern folk, they want to bury Orlando Bloom's dad, but
And he wants to cremate him.
Susan Sarandon wants to cremate him because that was his wishes.
Oh, okay. Well, you think, it'd be in the South that, maybe they could like smoke them or something.
A little bit of barbecue.
Just put them in the old smoker for like, a couple days.
Oh, but we also didn't
Low and
mention
slow.
that Judy Greer gives Orlando Bloom a call, and she tells him that Mom's been acting wacky. She's taking
God.
tap dancing lessons. She's cooking. She's trying to, fix a car.
She's learning to laugh
boy.
again. Like, these are all things that are probably normal for somebody grieving,
Yeah.
and trying to make them seem funny is just...
Yeah,
Stupid.
it's just one more thing in this movie.
I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I mean, I love Sandra Susan Sarandon, but she is... It's an embarrassing role.
It's too much. Well, the most embarrassing thing is later.
coming
I've
up.
got to get to that, but we won't spoil it.
We
but-
didn't even talk that Jessica Biel's in this movie, and I was like, what happened to Jessica Biel?
Oh, yeah, she's
she had
barely
like a
in
little
it.
cameo at the beginning. She's Orlando
She gets on the
Bloom's-
phone later on to dump him.
Yeah, for
his
like
former
one-
girlfriend.
Oh, she was
yeah.
very funny on BoJack Horseman playing herself.
Yeah, she was quite good in that. She can be good. She's pretty sidelined in this. Like, it's really like a glorified.
Oh, I
cameo.
forgot. Did she date Justin Timberlake or something like that for a while? Is she married to Justin Timberlake?
I
she
think
might have been
so.
married to him for a while.
Okay.
Or was it Ryan Reynolds?
No, you're thinking that's Blake Lively? No.
Oh,
Yeah, I think Blake. Anyway, well, they did star in the Green
it
Lantern.
must have been
but-
Timberlake.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's not important.
it's funny because she's not in anything. I just saw her in a show called Limetown.
Is that a real show, or is it like a tax haven of some kind?
No, it's based on a podcast series. It's like a kind of sci-fi.
A Facebook Watch original, Limetown.
Yeah.
Limetown. It's actually it's funny. I'm like, God, I used to love that podcast. Man, I should check out the show. I'm like, Facebook Watch. What the hell is that? So I got the app and Apple TV, and then I finished watching it, and I told April, and then like a week later, it came on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you went to go find it and it was just static. They'd never existed.
Amazon Prime, a more normal streaming service.
Exactly.
Other than Facebook, whatever.
I'm like, what the hell is it? Facebook Watch?
Anyway, she's like good in this in the
She's
small
fine.
bit. But I remember there was an interview I heard with her years ago where she said, "I don't get acting roles because I'm too pretty." Essentially.
All right, get out of here, Jessica Biel.
I think it was because she was too fit. Her body type, she said, was
That's
not
bullshit.
because she's like has like an action star body.
She's good in Rules of Attraction that I'll make you watch one day. Okay.
Oh, I bet you that movie doesn't hold up. but
Yeah, I feel like it won't. Another movie I used to love when I was younger.
Okay, now we got to get to another. I hope you're not tired of wacky characters because
No, I love them. Give me more.
Orlando
Yeah, we
Bloom.
met-
He's going to the hotel that he's
Yeah.
staying at while he's in town.
Oh yeah, and there is a wedding reception that's
It's
happening.
like a 3-day long wedding where they've taken over the hotel.
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
like-
something that people do? I don't know.
It's like a bachelor party / wedding reception.
Yeah, and
they're
it's
going
like
to do.
all 3 days. The 3 days he happens to be
Yeah.
there, so he's like trying to sleep and like they're being loud.
and his
stuff.
whole floor is taken over by all these people.
Why didn't they put him on a different floor?
Don't know. And it's Jed Reese from
Galaxy
Quest and something else.
He's been in a bunch of like comedy things,
okay.
and I don't. We like barely meet the wife, but anyway, they have like a little moment or whatever. Because the thing about this movie is everyone in the South, they're so friendly. Like that's what it's
they're
trying
so
to give off.
lovable. Yeah. Nothing wrong. Get that mask off, you son of a bitch. Freedom. Freedom.
They're
Let's go, Brandon.
we're
no.
dealing with that here. We don't have to go to the American South for that.
Stupid truckers.
But like no, they're all like so he finds out that he meets the husband and then like he's like, wait, your father died? I'll do anything for you if you need anything. Just let me know. And the rest of the weekend, he's like pointing at him awkwardly, and Orlando Bloom, trying to act like a human, points back. It's so weird and stupid, but they're just so nice, right?
But
yeah.
this is where we get to the winning part of the movie where he gets on the phone with Kirsten Dunst and they just have a lovely evening just chit-chatting on the phone.
They must be talking
For
for
7
like
hours.
7 hours.
Didn't
or
you
8
ever
hours.
do that, Colin? Just get on the phone?
Actually, I did.
Everybody did. Not
I also
anymore.
used to talk on the phone a lot.
Yeah, I think me and April were probably the last generation to do that because
Yeah, probably. Because as soon as we got cell phones, it ended.
and nobody wants to talk on the phone anymore.
It's really true. As soon as
Yeah,
texting
it's like, I
became
can
a
text.
thing, yeah.
I used to do that. You just go lie in bed and get my landline.
I'd like to send the telegram, please.
Hello.
But yeah, so yeah, they end up talking on the why he's having a bad day, so he calls her. And they talk and they have a bath, and you think they're gonna have phone sex, but
they jack off.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And like she's like organizing her CDs and stuff, and they have great conversations about life. Like, do you ever just feel like I'm fooling everyone? I just want to throw up at lines like that. Like, I fucking hate her. I hate her, and I hate everything she says. And Orlando Bloom can't act, so I just hate the both of them so much. They're insufferable to be around.
You're gonna need to pick a favorite thing before we get to the end of this.
I've got one, and I have a feeling like all three of us are gonna have the same favorite thing.
Yeah, because there's nothing.
But this scene ends though with them driving to meet up, and that's a funny punchline where they're like, we peeked on the phone.
Yeah, it's like, let's go meet up for, I don't know, the sunrise or something like that.
They meet up in a abandoned road.
Yeah, so this is the creepy part. They're driving, she says, let's meet, in the middle of the forest or something like that. We can watch the sunrise
no
together.
eyes can see us.
Yeah, and it's lit like a horror movie, so they're driving towards one another, and she's on the phone. She's like, oh, I can see you. You're wearing like a hat or something like that. And I'm like, oh God, this is creepy.
And they walk
and then they kind of like,
other.
their cars kind of, pull up to one another, facing one another. Like, they kind of stop 50 feet away and they get out. I'm like, okay, this is a fucking horror movie. She's going to kill you and drag your body into the forest and bury you somewhere.
There's like a scene from that movie Scream for Help that like nobody has seen, where there's the two characters are walking on a road that looks just like that, and a car comes and just like hits one of them. I was like, that's what's going to happen.
I've seen Scream for Help.
Yeah, I know.
I played Scream for Help.
That's all I could think of.
That's a great movie. Did we do that on this podcast?
No, I didn't think it was. Actually, isn't there a Blu-ray of that now?
There is a Blu-ray.
So.
Shout Factory put it out right after we showed it in theaters.
No, we never talked about it, I don't think.
Yeah, we should talk about that. Or we should watch it.
Again, yeah.
Anyway, Elizabethtown, you're like, is this movie over? You look at the time, 50 minutes
yeah.
Only halfway over.
Never, ever look at the time.
Kirsten Dunst is talking about, I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow. And I was like, okay, like, flight attendant, she's doing that, and she's like, no, I'm going on vacation. I decided that would be a good thing for me to do. The next day, she just creepily shows up.
Again, this is
I decided to just follow you.
This
Mr.
is terrifying.
Bloom.
Again, he kind of comes out of the elevator, and Jed Reese and all his party guys are there, and he's talking on the cell phone, and she's like, whatever. Oh, I see a cute guy. And you see her all of a sudden like just sneak up behind him. And
she pops a balloon.
Oh God!
And then Orlando Bloom
isn't she
turns
like
around.
calling? She's on the phone. She's like,
she is.
Aloha, aloha.
She's like,
that soon-to-be movie coming out from Cameron Crowe.
Oh God. Yeah. And then it's like a blood-curdling shot of her like coming into the back. And then he's like, I thought you had to go to whatever, and she's like, no, I was just lying.
Well, because she says she's in a relationship with a married man named Ben.
I don't know if she said married man, but it's some like it's like an unavailable man. She kind of is like, he goes away on these business trips, and I'm
this
always
man does not exist.
Yeah, no, he clearly does not exist from the moment she mentions him, and that's just supposed to be fun and okay.
Yeah, you never see him. Doesn't matter.
How would you feel if this movie ended with the character being like, what? That flight attendant, she died in a fiery wreck taken...
I would have loved it.
And then it like cuts to her either as a zombie, like it's like The Shining, like he's having sex with Kirsten Dunst, she's like, or she fades away.
No, he's grieving, so he just... Well, I was like...
It's her as a melting zombie, and she's doing the camera thing. See you real soon.
The thing is, she shows up and starts
Freddy,
talking to him.
Bitch.
It's kind of like Fight Club.
Yeah.
Like I'm grieving, I'm hallucinating, I almost killed myself.
I thought there was going to be some twist like that.
She doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But no, everyone
he goes to the graveyard and finds her gravestone.
I had to tell you, what's your name? What's his name in this? Ben? I don't know. I don't know what either of their names are.
So then they go, she's like, I'll like spend the day with you, whatever. He goes to like the funeral home, and she's like kind of emotional support for him. And then they go he's picking like an urn. And then... Did
you see, I think you looked away. There's a kiss urn. It said like Kiss Rocks on it.
Oh God! Okay.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah. So
and were you like Abby Collins' favorite urn because no one loves to kiss like Colin?
So
Picking it out for you.
She helps him like pick an urn, and then you're like, okay, I get it. And then he like narrates, we went to pick an urn. I'm like, yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, you asshole. And is that also the day where they frolic through the graveyard?
I think so, yeah.
And she's like running.
Oh, and then she trips.
Aren't you having
oh
so
my
much
God.
fun?
Why? That grave, that picture looks just like you, Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, it does it? Crash zoom on her face. Zombie maggots falling from her eyes. Were you ever a fan of Kirsten Dunst, Colin?
Yeah.
I mean, what, like in Spider-Man, I guess?
Like
Virgin
Spider-Man.
Suicides?
What was that?
Marie Antoinette?
Who was the cheerleading one?
Was she in Bring It On?
Bring It On? Yeah.
I don't know if she was in that one.
Oh, she
April's not
was.
here anymore, and she'd be like, I know what she was in.
No, she did. She was in the first one.
Okay, and she kind of retired from acting for a while.
It seems like it. I was going to say, like, as obnoxious as her character is in this movie, she still has I don't know, an adorable quality to her that I kind of like.
I mean, she's just kind of straining through that terrible character and dialogue, doing her best to try to save it.
There still is a very kind of cuteness that she kind of has.
She's back, though, with her husband in The Power of Dog.
Is she married to Jesse Plemons?
Still haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
she's married to Jesse Plemons.
No
Did you mention
shit.
Interview with a Vampire? Because that's clearly her best role.
Oh, that's right.
You think that's her best role? She is a
yes.
child, April.
Still her best role. I also
Yeah.
really liked her in Melancholia, even though, the movie's just okay. She was good in it.
Yep.
Okay.
Where are we here? Okay, so
Graveyard.
Graveyard Smash. Then the next day, I guess.
There was a monster mash.
They meet
Kirsten
Frankenstein in the
Dunst.
graveyard. They meet Dracula. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, so then we're back. We're back at this hotel, I guess, for what, day 4?
Transylvania.
For like day 4 of this Bachelorette wedding
I think
party.
we skipped over the part where Orlando Bloom quiets down the devil kid, right? Was the tape that Kirsten Dunst gives him?
yeah.
Before that, he goes to the cousin who has this little kid's house, and he shows him the remnants of his band he was once in called Ruckus. And
So I looked up
mildly
Paul
amusing.
Schneider. He was discovered, or like his first big acting roles were in early films by the guy who did Pineapple Express.
Okay.
David Gordon Green. He was in George Washington and All the Real Girls with Zoe Deschanel.
Speaking
That's
of
who's in
Manic,
that
Pixie-
one, right?
Pixie
Yeah.
Dream
So
Girls.
and Elizabethtown was like his first big studio film.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, but he hasn't really he's indie guy kind of. Yeah.
Well, other than that, he was in
If you mean unemployed.
yeah, Parks and Recs. He was in Cafe Society, the Woody Allen movie.
No. But I mean, yeah, he's all right. Like I did his character's kind of funny, and he kind of his thing is he's not parenting his child.
Because his dad kind of gives him
Yeah.
shit. But
Yeah, his dad's like, you can't be friends with your son.
it's like, you can't raise a child if you are a child.
So at some point, Kirsten Dunst gives Orlando Bloom this weird tape, and she says some offhand line like,
And
it's
it's gonna-
supposed to help you quiet
it's
down.
going to be like The Ring or
What?
something like
Yeah.
that. They're going to show it to people.
There's some
Candy Cove or whatever that Channel Zero show is.
there's some gathering at Paula Deen's house,
Yeah.
and the kids are in the other room screaming, and I'm just like, this is why I'm never having children, because it's just constant screaming. And so Orlando Bloom gets this tape out, and this is my favorite part of the movie. This tape is bizarre. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it's in this movie, but it's quite funny.
I don't know if it's real, but yeah,
It
it's just
seems
some.
like something that came from Found Footage Fest.
Yeah, it looks like some construction guy, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to blow up this house. You know, if
But you gotta be quiet, kids.
quiet and listen to your parents. Are you okay?" And then they're like, "Yeah, we'll do it." And then he's like, "Fine." And he blows up this big house, and
And it's
that,
like, it's very Lynchian. Like, it's like fades from the house, fades into his face watching the house explode.
Yeah, like while it's exploding.
then there's Robert Blake there holding his all white face with like a camcorder.
Yeah, it's bizarre, and it worked for me. Like outside of this movie, like I mean, it injected some extra nice weirdness into this movie, but like I would watch that like separate from this movie. Like
Sure.
if that was a video on YouTube,
it's a real
I'd probably
thing, yeah.
think it was funny. So that's my favorite part, the weird house blow up scene video.
I think we can jump. Oh no, wait, because there's a whole scene where Kirsten Dunst gets drunk and then she and Orlando Bloom hang out.
Yeah,
and
this
then
is
they
the next
kiss.
scene.
It's insufferable.
So,
Yeah.
like, he goes back to the hotel.
By the
and,
way, she made friends with the bride.
Well, I'm just about to get to that.
The bridesmaid.
Yeah, so he goes back to the hotel, and then all the bridesmaids there are like having a bachelorette party, and Kirsten Dunst is all dressed up, like hanging with them. And, like, does she know these people? What the
No,
hell?
because she can just go and meet anyone, and everyone loves her.
Or she's a ghost.
I mean, that being said, I have been at
Yeah,
parties.
none of the
and
other characters are interacting with her.
All the clues were
She's
there.
just sitting on that
Yeah,
couch
Orlando
around
Bloom
these
was
women.
alone on the plane at the beginning. It's all there.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I've been at parties and events and stuff alone where you kind of have to make friends, and I can do it for one night, and because they all have that Southern hospitality,
Yeah.
they're all just super nice, and she's
But I
just
think
like, oh my god, I love you, like
She
blah, blah, blah.
crashes the Bachelorette. Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't know any of them.
No, she crashed.
Yeah. So,
And she also crashes into Orlando Bloom's bed. Ba-doing.
oh, but they go through this wacky, whatever, comedy scene. Don't they almost, like, leave the urn somewhere? And
Ugh, yeah,
Oh my
let's just
god, we
move on.
forgot the urn. Yeah, the urn shenanigans are dumb as dog shit.
oh god.
It's only missing someone like snorting the urns, thinking it's like cocaine. That's the
Oh,
one
yeah,
thing
like
missing
Jet
from this
Reese
movie.
comes,
There's
like,
more. There's scattering of the ashes later that I forget how and why.
We also
but
skipped
you
over the
allow-
whole,
we
the
have
whole plot that like Orlando Bloom's like, no, don't cremate him. Oh, it's too late.
Yeah,
Again,
it's-
like
again.
there's no like major structure. It's just like stuff kind of.
It's just all stuff.
happening. and
Orlando Bloom doesn't even really make any decisions in the movie either.
No,
it's like Kirsten Dunst is like, do this, do that.
Exactly. She completely manipulates him throughout this movie.
Yeah,
and
she's
it's
just
creepy.
like, take my hand and I'm going to, just, he's just like this empty vessel. He's almost like an android or like
An urn, if you will.
a zombie that, just does what what do they call those? Like homunculus?
He's like the golem.
The golem, yeah, exactly.
Homunculus is like a baby in a jar.
Oh yeah, sorry, right.
But anyway, not important. I think we need to get to the big reception.
Yeah.
This is what
And
the
this
movie's
is
been
definitely
building.
my favorite thing is that everybody does their speeches, then Susan Sarandon comes up and she gives one of the most uncomfortable showcases.
This is so embarrassing. And I'm like,
But the audience, they're eating it up. They
Oh my
cannot
God.
get enough of it.
They are laughing hysterically.
and it's just like one of those, schmaltzy music is playing over, and it's just like supposed to be so heartfelt.
the funny story she tells is that about how her neighbor hugs her because she was grieving and he had a boner.
boner, and then she starts like dancing, and you're like, oh my god.
And then she starts just spinning around,
She's
not
doing
even dancing.
Yeah, but it's like the way it's shot in the music. Like she's tap dancing to like Moon River.
It's my favorite thing. No one told Cameron Crowe no.
It
It's
is-
very good.
It's somebody like I have like very bad secondhand embarrassment for people.
It's
Like I
cringy.
feel really bad
Even in
for
a
people.
movie?
Even in movies, and
Especially in movies.
cringe, like shows like The Office or like Faulty Towers, where you're embarrassed for someone. Like
Yeah, but I
and
mean, the audience loved it.
this was I was so embarrassed for Susan Sarandon, not her character, but her as an actor.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god,
because
this
she
is
gets
awful.
up and she starts like doing a comedy routine, and you're like,
because she took comedy
she
lessons.
apparently took one comedy. Do you know how long you have to take comedy classes in order to be able to do stand up?
How did she do all this stuff in like the 2 days?
Yeah,
between?
it's crazy.
days.
Hey, I've seen like worse tap dancing. Maybe she's a quick learner at all this stuff.
Well,
Yeah, maybe she's got like a Groundhog Day situation. She keeps doing the same day over and over again.
That's like a whole plot line that they had to cut out of this movie.
She's like, I've been living through this day for 500 years.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie has too much. I
And
think
then,
I might trim it out.
Like Judy Greer is there, and like she's like laughing and clapping, and then she just starts crying.
Yeah,
and-
it's just so sappy.
Well, that's because Paul Schneider then starts to play Freebird.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then this scene, which again supposed to be funny, but all I could imagine was the flaming wreckage and the horrible lives lost.
yeah. But he's
A paper mache bird.
this gigantic bird that the stage guy is supposed to lower right when they're at the guitar solo of Freebird. And it like catches fire. This looks horrifying, by the way. It looks like the whole hotel is going to go up in
It
flames.
real like a room filled with that many people, and they're just like not running away
Yeah.
until Kristen not Kristen
Dunst.
Stewart. Kristen Dunst does her airplane thing. Go out this way, people.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, her skills came into use.
Colin,
Wow.
we're running on a runway here. You got to pick a favorite thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, we still have like 15
Okay.
minutes in the movie.
Okay.
We're gonna skip. We gotta.
I do not want this to be the longest episode of the.
No.
God, no.
Okay.
We gotta wrap up soon.
So anyway, they kind of like, whatever. And then Kirsten Dunst, as she does, she writes this huge, big booklet of
Yeah.
you're going to go on a road trip with your dad's
This
ashes.
is a serial killer's book.
Okay.
Like,
that would take like a year to make.
it's like the book from Seven.
That's what I was going to say after the opening. Like, she's like shaving her fingerprints off or something like that. And she writes this like big long road trip through the South. So he's going to go on like a road trip with his dad.
on his way home, I guess.
Yeah,
is the
I guess on
idea.
his way home, and then take the ashes. But then she's got the whole trip planned out, and she's also giving him like CDs to play that not only narrate, but
But have like songs that she picked. So we were saying it's kind of like the Book of Henry.
yeah, I said she's leading him now.
Turn right
takes
here.
And with an explosion of his dad's ashes into the air that rained down on the audience.
Yeah, so this is my favorite part. She's leading him through this like farmer's market at the
second
end.
largest
She's
farmer's
going like, go to the book stall, like pick the second book down and flip to page 43, and then she's got like a post-it note in there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like Book of Henry.
Well,
Like,
that's also like Amelie kind of, where she like tells him to go places and there's instructions. It's like a scavenger hunt, essentially.
But it's just like, oh my God. But there was one part that's so funny. It's like a montage bit where he's going and he's like, talk. They have like a lot of Orlando Bloom talking to his dad's urns. Or his urn.
And then he finally learns to let
But
go.
it's just set to music, like, the dialogue's probably crap. Let's just
we can't have him actually
put Tom
talk.
Petty over it or something. And then there's just like this montage of him, like, she's like, yeah, you just got to go stand by a river and just jump up and down with like waving your hand in your head. And
you see him
doing it. And it's
Is this your
just-
favorite thing, Colin? I'm giving you an out here.
Oh, it's
him
just
dancing like a loser.
This whole section is just so insane. And
It's
it's
so
just,
like twee and annoying
and painful.
and I hate it.
I loved it.
Oh, so it's Colin's favorite thing, the ending of this movie.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the audience and going, I can't believe this movie isn't done. Like,
I can't believe
what
you saw
is
this in
going on?
theaters.
I saw it in theaters. I mean, I was probably still high off the almost famous Cameron Crowe.
Yeah, everybody
you
was.
Say I was probably high. That's all you
Hi,
have to say.
yeah. Because I was high. Because I was high.
That's the only explanation. Although I would hate to see this movie high. My God. It'd be
Oh,
depressing
Jesus.
as fuck.
No, it would be like a nightmare.
So anyway, yeah, she shows up there and they embrace and it ends.
Yeah, she's like,
can't
look for a
fucking
girl in a red hat in the crowd.
Yeah,
And
there's
She
red
looks,
hats everywhere.
and it's
like-
like the ending of Don't Look Now, like his throat is sliced.
That would make a lot more sense. That would be a hell of a lot more fun.
Look for a girl in a red jacket.
for a dwarf in a red jacket.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's good.
And anyway, that's
I would,
the movie.
I would love to go back. Not that I ever will, but just go back and like really take some of these scenes and change the music.
I feel like
and
somebody
cut like
should.
a horror trailer.
You
of
would not have to
Elizabethtown.
do much.
Yeah. And that's the movie. And then at the end credits, you see like the jillion songs at the end.
Oh, there's so
because
many
There's more
songs.
songs in this movie than American Graffiti.
Hey, there's another thing, soundtrack.
Some of the soundtrack is good. Overall, I didn't like it, but I think it's just because I didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
think if
it's your
listened
it's
in
your
different
dad's
context-
favorite albums. That's what it
Exactly.
is. And it's like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like some of the songs were good. Some of the songs I just felt were kind of like inappropriate. And also that scene at the end is just like paid for by like the Southern America Tourist Board. It's like go here, go to this place, like and that's really the impression I got. Anyway, this movie sucked, and I'm sorry I made you guys watch it.
I would love, like in the market scene. He's like, okay, now go here. Now like grab the box that's in the back. Okay, now inside is a loaded gun. Now you've got to go like the stall. There's going to be a lady
Now
named Bessie.
Spray bullets over on the entire crowd.
You gotta get
Have
up.
I ever let you go astray before? Listen to me, Orlando Bloom.
Now you got to get as high up as you can. Go find a tower, if you will. Out there, you're gonna find a sniper scope.
Too soon, Colin. Too
Sorry.
soon.
Jesus.
Okay, well that's Elizabethtown.
Ugh.
It's streaming on Netflix.
I mean,
if you
come
wanna watch it.
again to Elizabethtown.
It's like crickets. Fucking
No.
Yeah.
crickets.
No, this movie sucked, and I was right the first
Paula
time.
Deen, y'all.
Yeah.
She's going to have one of those plantation parties that she does.
Ugh. Yeah. Ugh is right. Yeah. I mean,
Where can people watch Elizabethtown? Is it streaming anywhere?
It's on Netflix. I just said it's on Netflix in Canada anyway, and I'm sure it's relatively available. But I would not recommend it if that's not clear. Don't watch it.
It felt pretty long.
It's like 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So that's it for this week.
Go watch We Bought a Zoo instead.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. It must be better, and it's probably more romantic.
Go read that guy's Twitter account that's only We Bought a Zoo jokes. Like just like 100 We Bought. I checked recently and he's still doing it.
Oh God, I gotta check it out.
Well, if you want to email the podcast, we're at nosuchthingasabadmovie@gmail.com, and we're on Twitter at nosuchthingpod. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/nosuchthingasabadmovie. At the $5 level, you can get a bonus episode every 2 weeks.
I'm just looking at the picture of Kirsten Dunst doing the camera
Oh
thing.
yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
I'll tweet that out
That's
when
psychotic.
we tweet this. You can probably tell we were giving hints about it. We're talking about the Boba Fett show, the Book of Boba Fett next week. So,
have you guys seen the tweet? It's Zach Silberberg who tweets about it, and it's a photo of Matt Damon looking like the villain from Watchmen, and he goes, "Buy it, Scarlet. I'm not a Republic serial villain. Do you seriously think I'd explain my masterstroke if there remained the slightest chance of you affecting its outcome? I bought the zoo 35 minutes ago."
That's good.
Yeah,
check it out.
Check him out. He
okay,
still makes
anyway.
Me Bought a Zoo jokes.
Anyway, I might actually watch that if I'm really depressed someday.
No!
I'm in the mood for watching a movie about a zoo. And if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at April Atmansky.
You can find me on Twitter at DeClueJ, every week on the Important Cinema Club, and also on Letterboxd at Justin DeClue, DeCloux.
You can find me on Twitter and also the zoo that I bought.
Oh, man.
I'm at Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA on Twitter.
And that's it for this week. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. I hope you maybe watched a better movie than we did. And that's it. That's it for this week. Thank you. I got nothing.
You're still trapped in Elizabethtown,
Yeah,
April.
this movie has sapped me of any intellectual capacity. I'm April Atmansky.
I'm Justin We Bought a Zoo DeClue.
I'm bought a zoo all in Cunningham Zoo.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.
Zoo.
Not even Elizabethtown, ladies
No
and
such thing
gentlemen.
as a bad zoo.